be here for at least half an hour. The same as every other week, but it's my birthday week, so that's a different thing than last week. Haha. Except I wasn't sure it was my birthday this week last week. I'm completely what's going on with the day? I thought my birthday might have been yesterday because somebody hello, happy birthday to yes, happy solar orbit to me. Thank you very much, Eric Fingal. Hello Philip, hello people, hello everyone that's joined me for this my birthday celebration. This is actually my birthday party. I did buy a cake. There was 3 cakes for the price of 1. So I got 3 big cakes. They're actually Passover cakes because they're gluten-free. And I know technically this is my birthday. It's not Passover, but there you go. I didn't get any Christmas presents. It's because it's not Christmas. It's my birthday. I didn't get any presents. My mum was like, oh, I didn't get you anything. Didn't get to. She said, oh, I remember the day. Oh, I was in so much pain. I was like, thanks, Mum. And then she had this notebook, this green notebook, and she handed it me. She was like, I don't use this. Do you want it? I was like, thanks, Mum. That's the present I gave you for Christmas. This Christmas. So that was good. That was what I got almost for my birthday present was the present that I gave my mother for Christmas. But I said, no, you should write in that. That's a journal for you. I got that for you. So that's what I got. A re-gift from my mother. That's what I got. And I made my own cake out of an old Passover cake. Well, it's a new one. But it was a bit mouldy actually, but I put it in the oven and I'm hoping I'm not going to die from it. But it also had squishy dairy-free cream and it was quite nice. So I had a lovely birthday cake for my lunch after I'd made the lunch for everyone else. And then my mother said about 5 o'clock, I thought we were going to get birthday cake, and I said, but we've already had birthday cake. Did you not realise that cake that I gave you was my birthday cake? Because it is cake and it's my birthday, and that's what makes cake birthday cake. I should think that's what makes it cake and not a cake and not a fake cake. It was my birthday cake. And she said, we didn't wish you happy birthday. And I said, yes, fine. Wish myself happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Exactly. So I don't know whether people have been saying things. I have not been looking, but hello live chat, hello chat. Evening to you. Yes, my cake was, yes, exactly. My day was all right. I got quite a lot of Facebook messages saying happy birthday, so that's nice. It's nice to be remembered by people. But Facebook reminds you, so anyone that's there on that day can see it and has to say happy birthday. That's what happens. I missed a couple of people's birthday this week, so I probably didn't get birthday greetings from them because I wasn't on Facebook that day because I've been trying to keep away from it. I've missed a lot of messages on that lately. It's like, I got a message, like 2 weeks ago, I got a message saying, hey, do you want to stay in our flat in Edinburgh? And I'd almost booked a student accommodation and I didn't see it. I was like, oh, Facebook didn't tell me. And then I realised I'd been on Facebook. Trying to do a boycott, that's what it is. A meta boycott, that's not true. I just didn't go there. I'm really not doing a meta, I'm not doing any sort of boycott. In that, the grocery example, I was looking at them going, oh, I think we're supposed to boycott that thing and that place and that thing and that other thing. It's like, oh well, so I'm a bad person. Never mind. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I've got lots of cake, so that's all right. Cake forever. So what I did was got one of them that I did actually. It had I'm pretty sure it was said it was good until July. On the cover, it was like quite a long life cake and gluten-free and everything. And I was like, that looks like mold. So I was a bit worried. So I picked it off, and I knew from reading up on things that the mold it burrows deep inside things and it's not safe. But I thought if I put the cake back in the oven and cook it for 15 minutes at a high heat so that the steam came off it, there's possibly, I don't know, it might have made it even less safe. Because actually, after I'd eaten it, my fingers were going, ooh, that's not good. Nobody else had an effect from it. So I'm like, oh well, I've probably given everybody poison cake. So that is a pity. But I'm still alive, so it's all good. So yes. And this week, my Edinburgh show went live on the website. I was like, because it said that some shows had gone live, and it's like, where's mine? But it turns out because I had not submitted it until after March the 17th, which was the early bird deadline or something, then where I got it £100 off, it didn't get put live until this week. So it's on the website now. And I've got my accommodation sorted, so I'm definitely going up there with a show. It's called Little Circus, and it's basically this sort of nonsense, really, except in some sort of more organised form. Whether I'm organised, because I try to be organised. I try to organise things, but when I organise things, I do quite a lot to organise things, and then I look around and they're all disorganised again because other people don't care that you've organised things. They don't care. So I put them all together, like family photos. I spent ages, I was trying to find things for ages, and various photos of various family members from hundreds of years ago before I even knew them. They weren't actually pictures 100 years ago, but at least 150 years ago. Quite a few poems, pictures from various places, and I got them all together and I put them in a folder, and then I put them in a box. And the things that wouldn't go in the sort of flippy book, I thought I'll put them in a green folder next to them, put the rest of them in a box, and I'll write family photos, family tree photos on the side. Now, what happened was my mum, who I told that I was doing this to, had rescued it, and taken pictures out and then put them all over the place. I was like, I spent ages getting them ready. And also, I couldn't find 3 photos. 2 of them I still couldn't find. But today, my mother was cleaning up. And she moved my father's chair. And underneath my father's chair was a picture of my grandmother Harris, my dad's mother, from when she was young, like 20 or something. And it sort of got a big fold in it. So I tried photoshopping it. So I've got a Photoshop version of it. And it was underneath the chair. So that's 2 photos that still have disappeared. I scoured the house for everything. But I did find this one, and I put it in the folder and said to my mother, I have put this in the folder. And I said to my dad, I found that picture of your mother. He's like, what picture? What are you talking about? I was like, that picture that I've been going on about, how I couldn't find it. It's underneath your chair the whole time. So I do not know where the other 2 have gone. There was a picture of my grandfather, my dad's father, and when I knew him, he was obviously old, and he was bald. He had very blue eyes, I remember. He was bald and little squat. He was about 5'2", 5'3", something like that. And that's how I remember him, bald and old. Now this picture of him, he had fair curly hair, and he was skinny. He was also sort of a little bit stout, like a little. He was like one of the 7 dwarves. My father's family quite short. My grandmother was, I think, 4'9", 4'10", and yeah, they were all very short and like hobbits. My family like hobbits, and so he looked like Grumpy out of the 7 dwarfs. Not that I don't think in the modern animated. It's a live action, but the dwarves are still animated. They're not live action, they're CGI, that's animated. I've sort of glanced at them and they look a bit odd. But in the original, like hand-drawn one, that's what he looks like, Grumpy. Except he didn't have like a hat thing. But, and he didn't have a beard. He's just like, He looked like facially, he looked like Grumpy and about the same height. But yeah. But anyway, I can't find that picture. I can remember it. I mean, we've got a scan of a little bit of that picture, so I still got evidence that it existed. But the whole thing had the whole of their family, like my Auntie Pauline, who was actually my second cousin, I think, my dad's cousin, so my first cousin once removed, who was also only knew her as an old person. And she's a tiny little child with... I didn't think anybody in my family had blonde hair, but she looks like Boris Johnson, only with curly, like Boris Johnson, if Boris Johnson had curly hair. And it was like shocking, really. I was like, what? Because I certainly never ever had blonde hair. Blonde people were the bane of my existence. Like, and this blonde people are few and far between. But the people around here have got sort of sandy brown, dirty blonde, light brown, mousy browny sort of hair. And I know that when I was about 4, I wanted to be an angel. I've told you this before. I've told you this many times. I wanted to be an angel in the school play, but was told that I couldn't be because I had dark hair and angels had blonde hair. And I pointed out that none of these people had actually had blonde hair. That was all mousy brown, and I thought that was most unfair. And that didn't really help. They still didn't cast me as an angel. They cast me as a Christmas card that year, if I remember correctly. As a Christmas card. The year later, they cast me as a wicked queen in Sleeping Beauty in one thing, and Susan was the name of the person that was the Sleeping Beauty, and I objected to that most strongly too, because her costume was like a nightie that her mother had given her. And mine was amazing. It was like white. I mean, it's a better part being the Wicked Queen. And then another thing, I was the cat, because somebody had been the cat in Pussycat, Where Have You Been? And they did so badly. I was like, I will be that part. And I was so excited. I was like, I am the best. But then when it actually came to all the parents coming to see it at school, and I was really into this, they laughed at my dramatic performance of Pussycat, Where Have You Been? And I was just like, I didn't say that. I was just a pussycat. They laughed! And I ran off stage, and I could not be consoled. It's like my dramatic telling. It's like, I can't believe that they laughed at me. It was most unfortunate. So yes. So, but no, when I wanted to be an angel, I could not be, because I am not blonde. I am not blonde. I did not think anybody in my family was blonde, but I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. Apparently my grandfather also had fair hair when he was younger, but when I knew him it was grey and it was mostly gone. Which is what happens with old men in general, I think. Not all of them. My dad still had most of his hair until he's sort of going now, and it's sort of greying now. But he is 86 years old coming up next month. So I think that it's probably understandable that his hair is mostly... But my Uncle Arthur, who was my grandmother, his mother's brother, who was about 10 years younger than her. Yes, so he was born in 1915. 10 years younger than my gran, who was born in 1905 or 6, I think. 1905. 10 years younger, and he lived until he was 94, I think. And he almost until the end of his life had flowing hair, and it was quite dark. Even at the end, it was sort of slightly sort of sandy dark, but it was dark hair. And my grandmother, she had very white hair, and it's the same style, it turns out. This picture of her when she was 20, the same style hair that she had when she was an old woman. But she had it, and it was sort of like 1920 sort of there, and it was sort of tucked under and whatever. But she was always, even when it was white, she's like, look, I've still got dark hair. Look, she had black hair. Very dark black hair. Anyway, my hair is not black and it is not blonde. It is somewhere in between. And my mum's hair was red. My hair is not red, but it sometimes is in the sun. So I don't know what this all goes to say. I don't know what I am, really. I am a bit of everything and a bit of nothing. And that is what I am. about everything really. So I'm every person. Every person is me. I am every person. A little bit of everything, like a patchwork, all stuck together. Who are you? I don't know. Could be anyone. Anyway, it's just suffice to say, my show, Little Circus, will be based on my poetry book, but it will have this sort of bits of nonsense and stuff like that, and I don't know, really. It probably, if I can think of a narrative structure, then it will be. Yeah, it'll be exactly like Fleabag. In that, I've never seen Fleabag. I know that Phoebe Waller-Bridges is in it, and there's something about, she goes, handbag or something, and she gets off with some priest. It's not going to be like that. I don't know what. That's all I know about it. I haven't seen it. I've resisted because everyone's like, "Oh, you have to see it. Oh, so good." I'm like, "No, I will not see it because you keep telling me to see it, and if you keep telling me to see something, then I will not see it. Even if you say it is good, I will not watch it, and I will not say it is good. I will not know about it. I will just watch it on my own terms. Thank you very much. There's a lot of stuff I do like. Like, I really like Severance. Even though everyone was saying, watch it, watch it, watch it. I watched it before people told me to watch it, you see. And White Lotus, I watched that because I enjoy the work of Mike White. And I very much like, people were into David Bowie, were like, oh, I was into David Bowie. Oh, you were in David Bowie. And this is David Bowie, whatever his name was. I was into him before he was David Bowie, when he was David Bowie. And when he was David Bowie, when he's David Bowie. I was into him when he's Davy Jones. At the Monkeys. His name was David Jones, but he wasn't out of the Monkeys, obviously. But yeah, anyway, so Mike White, who is the author in charge of White Lotus, which the last episode will be available to British people tomorrow morning, and American people just there. You have at least 3 hairs, Arafinkel. Oh, good. Happy birthday, thank you. Oh, I'm glad that you found my YouTube channel too. Sorry, the chat has disappeared and my eyes are, because I'm so old, it's my birthday and I'm 2,050 million years old, even though my grandmother was born in 1905. So that doesn't make sense that I was born before my grandmother. Or does it? Maybe I'm a time traveller. Anyway, you already know that my grandmother was born in 1905, making me 200 million years old. Obviously, I was born after 1905 because that would not make sense to be before. I couldn't have been born before her, could I? Or could I? Maybe I'm back to the futuring myself. Yes. Back-to-ing the futuring, going back in time and going, ooh, I must make sure my grandparents get married. Ooh. Yes. I don't know how I don't know how they met really. They were just in the same mining village and there wasn't much to choose from, presumably, and they were more or less the same, very short height. Probably that's why they were bonding. I can't think. There must have. Why do people get together with each other? I think there's always it's not always a meet cute. It's just sometimes, oh, that's the person. I'll be with them then. Oh, because I know on my other side, my mother's mother, the reason that she was with my grandmother is she was going to meet some other lad that she didn't really like on the way to the pictures, and she was going down a little alleyway, and my grandfather came the other way, and he was actually angry because he'd had some argument with the girl that he was going out with, and they were like, ha ha ha, let's show them, we'll go to the pictures together, yeah, ha 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 ha, and off they went. Or they went down an alley, or they didn't go to the pictures anyway, but they were on the way. One was going one way and the other was on the way to the pictures, and I'm not sure why my grandfather was there, because he's quite other way from where he was living. But it turns out, many years later, after they were both gone, when I was doing my family tree, and my father already knew about this, that there was a rumour that he had actually got another girl in the family way around this time, and that everybody in my father's little home village, which is up the road from the village where these people were, everybody knew about this. And so many years later, when I was doing my family tree and I found this out and I put it together with the story that I knew that my grandmother had told me about how she met my grandfather, I was able to go, oh, because, as I probably said before, my uncle John, who was the oldest of their child, was born about 9 months after they got married, which was around about the same time that another child, the alleged child of my grandfather, was born somewhere else at the same time. And I think there's probably loads more of them too. So great. Whoa! So, and apparently my grandfather's parents, my mother never saw them until she was quite old. She was about 9 the first time she met her grandmother, and she was about 6 the first time she met her grandfather, who was a publican in Newport. And she remembers meeting him, and her father brought her down, and she sat on the bar, and everyone was like really nice to her, and that's the only time she ever met her grandfather. And the reason that she met her grandmother, who she didn't like, was because her grandmother apparently was very miserable. Nobody liked her. And by the end of her life, she was being passed from one brother. She had a lot of children, one brother to the other, one sister to the other, whatever. And she eventually ended up in my mother's house. So that's fun. What a lovely family. So this is, who do you think you are? I am from people who are a little bit, but my father's father. Anyway, this is family history for you. This is my birthday story for you. And I know you don't want to know it, but you will know it because that's what I'm talking about. Why am I talking about it? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, it is what it is. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Don't want to know about this, you. Don't want to know about this. You probably want to know about this. We've got so many other things to think about in the world. What is going on in the world? What is happening? And yeah, everything in America will cost 100 million times more. And great for you. I'm sure that's fun. Yeah, so if you're American, I'm sorry. Everyone else who's been tariffed, we don't really care. We don't really buy much American stuff. That's the point, isn't it? It's this American stuff's not that great. It used to be great. But why do we need it? We don't. Sorry. Oh, never mind. But I think most of the stuff that America wants is actually not from America. Which is why this is seemingly a little bit of a strange plan. I don't know. America, what are you thinking? Are you? I'm sure it's not America's fault. It's absolutely not America's fault. There's certain things that are at fault, and America in general is not one of them. Can't really help things like that, can you? When you've got Mad King Ludwig running the castle in Bavaria. That's where it is. Mad King Ludwig in Bavaria, and King George III. King George III and yeah, great. Yes. Oh, dearie me. Is it Neuschwanstein? Neuschwanstein Castle, which I visited as a child. And I probably told you this is before. We went there, and we were supposed to go to the place where the place where the mustachioed man on top of the mountain, the summer garden or whatever that he used to stay in, the Baptist garden, I think it is. But the teachers didn't plan ahead, and we didn't actually go inside Neuschwanstein. We were just like, hey, well, make your way back to the coaches. We just sort of looked around, saw the view. It's like, hey, we didn't actually plan this. Because they were too busy actually getting off with each other and getting drunk, and actually trying to get off with students as well. It was a terrible time. We were only like 13 or 14. It was a terribly badly organised Austrian trip. This was in Germany, but we've gone over the border. We went down a salt mine. We visited Oberammergau, even though it was off season and there was not a passion play that year, even though it was Easterish time. There was not a passion play because it was not that year that they had it. Apparently they have them every 4 years or something. And then we went to Lake Königsee, which was lovely. And we went to Neuschwanstein, and I think we got around a bit. Anyway, we were late back to the bus because they left us to our own devices, and we were sort of like, we walked down the road, and we apparently were far too late, and they were very angry at us. It's like, well, it's your fault. You should have organised it better. Anyway, so that was the... Now, the only reason I've had a lovely tour of the inside of the castle is because I played a game called Gabriel Knight and the Sins of the Father. Was it called that? It was the one with the werewolves in it. And quite a lot of sort of subtext with the werewolf. There was a werewolf, and Gabriel Knight didn't know whether he wanted to be a werewolf or stay with this woman called Grace. And in the end, he did not become a werewolf. But I think there was a sort of ending bit that suggested that he wanted to be a werewolf. And I think werewolf was a metaphor for something else. Anyway, that was a good game. That's the only reason. And I love playing that game because apart from the word, there was a maze at the end of it I didn't like, where you had to go around and not get killed by the other werewolf. It was like, I don't like this bit. This was rubbish. What I liked about this game is you got to sort of have a museum tour of places like, basically of the castles and the opera houses and all the places, and you could just go around. You could just click on, oh, that's a picture. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that lovely, look at that statue, look at that thing. And that was fun. So I really spent most of my time playing that game. It's a point and click adventure. Just having a tour of these lovely things. And I like the backstory, the whole backstory, because even though it had, because apparently the werewolf's so old that he actually knew this this king. So it was like, oh, what a tragic backstory. I feel very sorry for that king. But never mind. It was good. It was a good game. It was a good game. And I got to see the inside of the castle. Ah, so that was good. Where am I going? A birthday. It's my birthday. And thank you very much for my 6 birthday thumbs up, sis, and the 7 people that are here. So it's been an eventful birthday in that I cooked some food and made a cake that nobody even really appreciated. You played Gabriel Knight someday. Yes. Okay, Gabriel Knight. I found it. Like, I don't know where it's gone. I found the discs of it, but the trouble is, I've got a new laptop, a newish laptop, but it was my brother's laptop actually, that he wanted to get rid of, so he sold it my parents to give it to me for Christmas. And it was like, oh, that's great. Does it have a disk drive that I can do things with? No, nothing has disk drives anymore. It's like, no. And it's quite an old game anyway. It probably would be compatible with it. But at least this is one good thing. This laptop has got Windows 11. So that's good, because apparently they're taking away the functionality of Windows 10. And my old laptop could not run Windows 11 because it was a very old, reconditioned one, and it doesn't work. So I'm just going to have to put like something else, like Linux, or is it Linux? Linus, Linus, Linux, whatever it is. I'm going to have to put that on it. It doesn't run very well. It's so full of stuff. Everything I own is so full of stuff. They don't put any storage space. They need to want more storage. I need at least 15 terabytes of stuff for all the videos and rubbish that I put on them. Anyway, Ubuntu. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. If you put another operating system on, people that know, does it get rid of all the stuff that's on there, or do you keep all the storage stuff? Does it not delete that? Because I don't want it deleted. Running. Okay. Yes, that was the question. Is, do I keep all my stuff? Because I want to keep all my stuff. And that's the only reason I would want to run the other old computer, is that I need my stuff, which is still on the stuff, which is why I still use my old computer, even though it's very, very slow. It's still got the website that I go to, all the websites that are there, because it remembers them. And sometimes I need to remember them, because sometimes I do not remember them. and I need to go there. So yeah, and I do stuff on that one old computer that I don't want to mess up the new computer with, but it's full of stuff. And also, the old one's got a disk drive, so I could, if I technically could watch DVDs and stuff, not that I do, not that I could, because I could use CD, I could use CDIs. Do you remember them? Back in the day, I had a CDI player, the sort of knackers end, if that be the phrase, of when they ran. You had to have 2 discs for a show. I had the Brady Bunch movie on 2 discs, and I also had which is it? Was that superhero movie that it's like Misfits, but it was before Misfits. It's got, I think it's got Ben Stiller in it and Steve Buscemi, and it didn't run. That's it. I put it in my disk drive in my computer, and it just did not run properly. And I worked at a technical magazine place that had other people like working for DVD magazines and stuff. Mine was a satellite magazine, but they worked for DVD magazines, and I was like, hey, what do you think I should do? Because the DVD player I've got, this was when DVD was new and exciting, the DVD player I've got on my computer doesn't really play things properly. And the guy that ran it was like, no, they don't run very well, they're not very good. And I was like, oh, good help, thanks. So never really ran it. I'm sure if I had it, what's it called? It's something beginning with M, not Minuteman. Not Minutemen. Because Minutemen is the Watchmen, original Watchmen people, isn't it? In the Watchmen. It's not that. What are they called? Anyway. Whatever they're called, they're rubbish superheroes with terrible powers. And I never really watched it properly because it didn't run on the computer that I had. But CDIs, they were fun for a while they lasted. I got some because they didn't sell them anywhere. By the time I got this CDI player, not even DVD sort of superseded them. This CDI player that you could play other things like on as well. It was a video CD ROM thing. There was other things as well. There was another, like very much like Betamax and VHS. There was a couple of competing things, and then it was like for 2 or 3 years. Oh, this looks like a brilliant thing, and then they just completely phased them out. So this DVD magazine had actually been a CDI magazine that I had looked at, and CD. And then it turned into a DVD magazine. So it was a DVD magazine by the time I got to working at that company. Wow, what an exciting story, eh? Anyway, that was helpful. What's the point of selling things if they do not work? I wondered. But it was new technology at the time. And now it's not even there anymore because nobody has DVD players and it's all gone again. But I think I need more storage, please. I need more storage for all the stuff that I've got because the phone's not big enough and it's just ridiculous. They make things worse and you go, temporary. You think, well, this is much better. And then after a couple of months you go, I'm missing quite a lot of the things that I had before. You've got rid of all the stuff that I used to have, like self-knowledge and way to access things and all the books that you got rid of, saying, oh, well, you look, Encarta, look at Encarta, you don't need all those encyclopedias, we've got Encarta on a disc. Oh, you go, I've got Encarta on a disc and Movie Mania on a disc. Oh, that's good, I can look up all the films on a disc. And they go, no, you've got the internet. You can look up anything you want, which is great if that's on the internet. But if it's not on the internet, because people have got rid of it, and they got rid of all the discs, and they got rid of all the books. So they got rid of all the books, they got rid of all the discs. They do not have it on the website. They got rid of them too. So you cannot find anything. You do not know anything. Everything is a dark ages again, even though the dark ages didn't exist. It's a myth. There are no dark ages except for now. Now is the time. So if ever there was a time where all the knowledge in the world has been destroyed, it is now. Unfortunately, because there are no... Who reads anymore. Nobody. I haven't read a book for the longest time. I've got some books, but do I read them? No. I should, but my eyes are terrible. My eyes are terrible because I'm 1 million, 2 million, 3 million years old now because it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me, and I can't see anything anymore. But my hair's still dark. This is actually natural hair, same colour as it's always been. Less red because it used to be redder in the sun. Less red because I haven't gone out in the sun for the longest time, ever since lockdown. No, I'm a mole person. Otherwise it would be. So this is the colour of my hair. Ha 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 ha. Bits of white in it probably, but it is the colour of my hair. So this makes the age of me impossible to guess. Am I 1,000,000? Am I 4? Yes, I am. I'm 1,000,004. Anyway, that is my birthday. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Next week is still not Easter. I do not know when Easter is. I'm very confused about that thing. I don't know, and I really don't know how they work it out. Something to do with the moon, I think. Anyway, happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Full of stars. Oh, look at it. It's full of stars. Oh, no. It's, yes, 2001, A Space Odyssey. Or A Space Oddity, if you're David Bowie. Bowie. Woo. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me for this, my birthday celebration. Now, for what it is, and I will drink some blue drink, because I am now an alien. Ooh. Didn't have blue drink when I was a kid. You'd like go, wow, blue drink, apart from slushies. Blue raspberry. Is this blue raspberry? No, it's bubblegum. Haha, bubblegum flavoured drink. Why? Because it's my birthday and I am 4 years old. Anyway, see you soon. Have a lovely week. I hope that you do. I hope nothing terrible happens. Unlikely, but I hope nothing bad happens. Okay, did Walter White brew? Yes, he did. This is definitely very Breaking Bad bubblegum drink. Unique selling point. All right then. See you very soon. Bye bye.